Hi, I'm Carl Anderson of Kugae Gundogs. This is my wife Karen. This week we're gonna answer some questions. We get asked loads and loads of questions, either in training, through WhatsApp, through emails, through social media, from every angle, and we try and answer the questions as much as we can. But we're going to try and bulk them up and explain some of the questions and explain how we do it, and try and show you how we do it through a video. And we're going to do this on a monthly basis going forward, and put things together. So Karen, over to you for the questions, and let's see how we go.
First one, focus. That's a massively popular question. Basically, how do you get the dogs to focus the way they do with you?
To get the dogs to focus, you've got to be involved with the dogs and not let them do what they want. We start off by putting the dog on a placeboard, either a raised placeboard, and turn it around gently and put the sit whistle on and interact with them. And I'm very soft with the dogs, and I let them jump up and I let them cuddle into me, and I get their respect off me. And then you slowly build up. You can't just go out tomorrow morning and try it. You've got to persevere with it. If you've got your dog from a puppy, it's very, very easy. If you've got your dog a little bit later on, you've got to build that bond with it, and it's all about the bond. A lot of people, you see, they've got the dog out there and they're training it for a full day, and they're pushing it too much. I train the dogs in short little spells, and then when we do go out for the full day in the field, they're bouncing with me, and they're all looking at me. When I put the stop whistle on, they're looking at me. So have a look at a clip of this video, and this is the starting point. It is only the starting point of how we do focus.
Charlie? So how we get a dog to focus on us, first things first, the dog's got to want to work with us. So we've got to have a very, very special bond, and we bring them up on placeboards, whether they're raised placeboards or the low down to the ground placeboards, or you might just have a mat, but they've got to bond with you, they've got to want to be with you, and you've got to be excited. So we will basically use this board and we'll walk around. Charlie, sit, sit. We'll get him to sit, and basically everywhere I go, I want his eyes to go. Sit. And if he doesn't focus on me, I'm going to bring him round. So that's the starting point of it. Now, Charlie's now looking at me. If I move to the side, his eyes are following me now. So he's focusing on me, and this is all to do with focus. It's basically, it's respect. You can't force this. The dog's got to want to be with you, and you've got to show it lots of affection and entertain the dog. You've got to work with it, engage with it. Here we go again. Sit. I'll get my whistle out. Here we go again. Move round, Charlie. 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 And I'm not using a tennis ball, and I'm not using a dummy at this stage. I could do, and it would get him excited, but then he would be more focused on the dummy than he would me. So that's just a big question we get asked all the time of lots of people. How do you get the dogs to look at you? How do you get them to focus on you? And that is the starting point. Charlie?
Another one is delivery. How do you, if you can explain it and then we'll show it on a video, get the dogs to deliver to you?
Right, getting the dogs to deliver can be a tedious thing, because what happens is we tend to put that much drive into the dog. They run out, they come back in, and they spit the dummy on the floor. Some dogs, lot will drop them, they'll run around you, and loads of various other things. Again, here we use a raised placeboard, and we get the dog to come up and deliver. But we've got to learn it to hold. Some dogs will naturally hold, but you've got to be very gentle here. Some people say put the dummy in his mouth and hold his nose. It'll spit it out and repel. You've got to gently ask it to hold and take it off it, gently. And this takes weeks and weeks to build up. Some dogs will do it straight away, but it takes a little bit more. Then I like to go for a walk with the dogs, so they're walking with the dummy to heel. And then I like a pound dummy.
How important is it to have the right dummy? As in
It's
the right
really,
weight?
really important to have the right weight.
Right, okay.
If you was using a spaniel, I would like a £1/2 dummy. For a retriever, I'd build up to it. But it's no good giving a puppy a pound dummy.
No,
You would have
because
a
it won't
puppy
be able to
dummy filled
hold
with
it.
foam, and it would hold it. But you wouldn't expect a puppy to hold. You'd expect a puppy to run out and you put drive into it.
Okay.
When you're training a dog, go out looking for a problem, not expecting a problem. And if you've got a problem with delivery, so you retrieve, it's going out, it's coming back in, and it spits it there, it runs around you. That's the problem. You've got to concentrate on that problem, not so much the retrieving going in and out, because all that's doing is getting you excited.
Can I ask another quick question on the back of that? How important is it to have a raised?
Well, the reason you have a raised platform, you've got place boards, say 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, and then we have raised place boards.
Yeah, 'cause they are
it brings
literally
the
like
dog
that,
up to our level. If you can imagine someone like me and I'm looking down a little spaniel,
It's a bit.
it's just intimidating for that spaniel, but you know as well as I do, I go down to my knees, so I'll say I'll come down to their level. So by having a raised place board, I'm bringing the dogs up to my level.
Yes.
So that's what I'm doing.
So if people could get one or make one.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good
you
idea.
can make one, you can put €3 pallets together, €4 pallets, you can do whatever you want. What you've got to be careful of, when you're putting young dogs on these place boards, they don't want to be jumping down too much because the joints are soft. So you wouldn't get an 8-week-old puppy, 12-week-old puppy
It's
on
an
that.
older dog.
And if you did, you would lift it down.
Yeah.
And kind of lift it up. So common sense prevails on that one. But raised place boards, for the way we train, are extremely important.
Okay.
So another big question is getting dogs to present a dummy to you, a bird to you. Basically delivery, tidying up the delivery. Now Charlie's 10 months old and a few weeks ago his delivery was shocking. He would get a dummy, he would run around and toss it in the air and swing it by the string and one thing and another. So what we've done with Charlie, we've got his focus, he's interested in us, we've got him on a raised platform so we're not bending down to him, he's not reaching up to us, we're meeting in the middle. And we've learnt him to hold a dummy. Hold. So he holds a dummy, dead. Charlie, hold. Just really gentle, hold. And then give him some fuss. Good boy, good boy. Dead. And it's as simple as that, but everything's got to be gentle. If we start forcing it, raising a voice to him, we're going to lose him. So it's got to create a game. Hold. Dead. Now you can see his paws coming out there. Remember, he's only 10 months old. He's on a young dog. This is the start of his journey. And this can take quite a long time to do. So let's have another little go. Charlie, I'm going to be real gentle. Hold. Come on, heel. Charlie. Come on, Charlie. Get up. Charlie, sit. And I've got the delivery. So we can get him to hold and then we can get him to deliver and he doesn't run around. Remember, if he's getting too excited, stop that game and go and do something else.
Another question we get is the sit and stay. How do you encourage them to sit and stay?
Right, well, sit and stay, they need to be able to sit and stay. Any dog does, really, any dog does. If you want to do your garden, you've got a pet, it wants to be sitting and staying. If you want it to sit in the back of the car, it's got to sit and stay. So again, you can use a place board here. We use a lot of place board because it's easy to keep the dog on the spot. So you put the dog on the place board and you ask it to sit. And you can bring your focus in here as well. So say if this is 12 o'clock, we would say sit. We would move around to his tail, which is 6 o'clock, and we would say sit. And the dog would follow, so we're getting the focus. We would then take a few steps back, and it might only be 1 or 2, and then go back to the dog and just gently touch his nose, and then try and take 3 steps, 4 steps, and go back to the dog.
And would you recommend that that's not overdone?
Nothing's overdone. Everything takes time. So what we would do, we would build up, we would do some heel work, then we would do some focus work, then we would do some sit and stay work, then we would do a retrieve, and then we would do a hold. So my training works in 15 minutes blocks of 20 minutes, and then I get another dog out and I carry on with that dog. So I'd rather do it multiples through the day than just one big block.
And you just said 15-minute blocks. Is that to cover all those exercises?
Not really. I don't do all them exercises. I'll like I say, I'll go out. The heel work might be perfect because we kind of get the heel work out of the way. So I haven't got to worry about that. But I'll take a dog out to heel to calm it down. You can't just take a dog out of the kennel. It's going to be too excited. So you just need to calm it down. But rather than, some people will say, well, I like it to have a 15-20 minute run. All you're doing is you're just getting excited.
Working it up.
Take control and then carry on as if you mean.
Do you know, if people are just starting putting the dogs on the place board to do this sit and stay, would you peg them down?
No.
No.
I would put them on the place board, I would sit with them and I'd fuss them up and I'd make it a happy place.
Yeah.
And you know when it's a happy place because you can walk your dog down towards the place board and it'll jump on.
Yeah.
And that's when you know the dog's ready. So every time it goes on the place board, you give it a positive.
Yes, because our dogs love being
on the place board. They'll sit on there all day long. So you give it a positive. You never give it a negative on the place board. You never drag it back to a place board.
No.
Because you're cross with it. You just say, come on, get up. And that's it. And then give it a fuss. It's one of the few times in training where I'll give a dog a fuss. Normally I don't because they get excited. But I want it to sit in and stay in on that place board, knowing I'm going to come back for it.
Yes, waiting.
Later on in the training, what we can do, we can have several place boards out and we can call the dog from that one to that one to that one to that one and put the stop whistle in, like a game of chess really.
Yeah.
But to start with, we need that starting point and it's got to be sit and stay, go back and collect the dogs. And you're better off just having a few minutes as often as you can.
Yeah.
Not, I've got Saturday morning free, that's it, I'm off for 4 hours, we're going to sit and stay. You'll pickle the dog's brains because dogs can only take so much in before they get muddled. And you know when they get muddled because they start making silly little mistakes. What infuriates the handlers and also it'll infuriate the dog. So put them away, have a cup of coffee and come out an hour later.
Okay, fabulous.
Okay.
Thank you.
So getting a dog to sit and stay on the spot for periods of time, and again we've got Charlie out, so we've got the questions coming in, we're putting this video together, so we'll use Charlie for this. What we would do, we would ask Charlie to sit and he'd understand the word sit, and ideally would sit him on the whistle. And we would walk away from Charlie, and then what we would do, we would come back in and we'd just gently touch his nose and say sit. And we'd keep doing this, and what we're doing, we're saying to Charlie, sit, every time we're going to come and collect you. And because we've got a focus, his eyes are going to follow me. Sit, sit. Good boy, cool. Sit. Now, going to turn him one more time. Sit. And I'm going to walk off round the field and we'll see what he does. And if he moves, we'll put him back. Sit. Come back, we touch him, sit. So I've just walked round that ride there, and all he's done is he's looked at me, he hasn't looked at the camera, he hasn't looked at anything else, and when I've come back, he's met me, he's greeted me. He hasn't cowered down because I haven't forced him on the spot. I've worked with him, and this takes time, and the way I like to train is take the time, get it through to the dogs, and once it's got through to them, keep up the exercising. So in the morning we would still heel the dog on the lead, off the lead. We might do a few light retrieves. we might do some sit and stay work, we might do some hold work. It's all got to be a programme building them up to the bigger thing. We're never in a rush to train the dogs. And always, especially when they're on a place board, show them some affection, and that just keeps the drive up.
Another question we get a lot is the stop whistle. How do you introduce dogs to the stop whistle?
The stop whistle's a great one. Stop means sit. And when we come into the field and we do training groups and I say, right, today we're going to do the stop whistle, you can see all the handles that crumble. Yeah? And really, it needs introducing. So with the stop whistle, we have to find a starting point.
And when do you introduce it? I suppose that's the question.
It can be at a very, very young age. All this training, when you've got your puppy, you're training the puppy without the puppy knows it's being trained.
Yes.
You roll in a ball.
Having fun.
And it comes into you. And then you can put a recall whistle on then. But not all the time, just occasionally. So really, let's just say our puppy gets to about 16 weeks old. Somewhere along them lines, we would walk it along and we would say, sit. And we would educate that dog to sit. When I ask a dog to sit, I don't want it sat at my side, I want it to turn around and face me. And that's because that suits the environment we live in. Ours are working dogs. We don't live in a city, we live in the countryside, and I need the maximum focus off them. So, but if it's on your side, if you live in a town...
Is that so people that live in a town or built up places, they should have it?
Well, they don't want the dog spinning round because they're at a curb. So
exactly.
They want their dog sat
next to
looking out
ahead.
at that curb.
Right, okay, yeah.
You know, and some of the competition dogs will want to be looking out. Some of the shooting dogs, they might want on the side. For the work I do, I need my dogs facing me. So what we would do, we would get the dog to sit, whether it's looking out, looking towards you, it doesn't really matter. We'd get it to sit by the word verbal. We would then, once it was educated with that, we'd say sit and blow the whistle.
At the same time.
At the same time. And we'd practice that a few times in each training session. Not 30, 40 times, just 2 or 3 times. We would then drop the word sit and we would just use the whistle.
Okay.
And if that worked, we would carry on with the whistle. So the dog now understands the word sit and it understands the word whistle.
Whistle is the same thing.
Yeah, and at the same time we can put a hand up so the dog can see out distance. Once it's learnt it, we would drop the sit all together and just carry on with a whistle. And then we can use it more and more and more. If you find out the dog's getting sticky and it's not responding, it's generally because you're doing too much.
Okay, so then do you go backwards?
So you just come backwards.
Saying sit.
Yeah, it hasn't got to sit every time you take it out. It depends where you're training it. But we'll pick this command up really fast. You know, so that's the way we introduce it. There's a video linked onto this which we'll play and I'll give you a better idea. Obviously, once we start stopping about distance, it's a lot more involved and a little bit more technical. We're going to cover that in another video later on. But these are all starting points.
And I think what's good about this format, hopefully, is that you're explaining it, but you're going to show it.
Explaining it and going to show it. And just remember, all dogs are different.
Yeah.
You know, some dogs will sit really quick on the whistle. If I was working a spaniel and I wanted to work and cover, I would create a game and put the sit whistle in as the game's going and move towards it slowly. With a retriever, I'd want it to stop and face me. The spaniel's still got to face me, but there's 2 little elements there. But the starting point is the same as you're walking along to heel, say sit, and then blow the whistle and get the dog's focus. So you've got 3 things in one really there.
When would you introduce putting your hand up?
Literally from the beginning. I automatically do it.
I know we do it all the time.
Yeah, if I blow the stop whistle, I put my hand up.
Yeah.
It's just something ingrained on me. And when we're out working the dogs and we're working multiples and we're in delicate areas, we don't talk to them, we don't whistle, just put our hands up because the focus with us.
Okay.
But that's not a starting point.
No.
That's the way I would go. So look at the video link to it, it'll give us a really good idea.
Okay.
How to introduce the sit whistle. Sit whistle means we blow a whistle and the dog sits. Or it's running away from us and we blow a whistle and it stops, turns and focuses on the handler. So for this we use an Acme 211.5. You can use a 211, 210.5, or you can use a 212. It's really up to you and what suits your needs on the whistle. Personally, 211.5 I use all day long for everything. So how we would get started, we would ask Charlie to heel, and then we would take a step back and ask him to sit. We would do the same again. Sit. Once he can do that, and that's a fairly easy procedure, we would say heel, sit, heel, sit. So now we're using the word sit and we're using the sit whistle at the same time. We would then, over a period of time, and for some dogs this might take a week to do, it might take longer, there's never any rush. The more effort and calmness we put into these things, the better results we will get. We will then say heel, 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 we would drop the word sit altogether and just use the whistle. So there would be three ways when we're working a dog. We could either say sit, put the stop whistle on, or use our hand. Hold our hand up so the dog can see it. And if we've got the focus off the dog, the hand will work, the sit whistle work, and the command sit will work. And that's the way here at Kugae we introduce the stop whistle, sit whistle.
Another very big question we get constantly is about heel. How would you teach heel when dogs are dragging their handlers around? Where's the starting point for some?
I think heel is the biggest question ever asked.
Yeah.
And my dog won't heel. I've tried it. I've tried everything. I've tried leads. I've tried this. I've tried that. You've got to persevere. All dogs will heel. All dogs will heel. Let's just take out we're talking about working breeds. What we
Gundogs.
Gundogs. That's
But
what
they can be pets. It's not about.
No, there can be pets. There can be competition dogs. There can be just working dogs. There can be whatever. But they're all heel. They're very intelligent dogs. And what happens is we give in on them too easy. So when we get a new dog in, as you know, we go out and I say the word heel and I walk up and I turn quick. Walk up and turn quick. And then I do a figure of 8, so I'm turning into it and turning away from it. And we're not miracle workers. It's not going to happen in the first 10 minutes. No. It's not going to happen in the first day. Some dogs pick it up really fast.
And why do we do that quick turning and figure 8? Is that to break their pattern?
The dog starts to focus on us and follows us.
Because they're not sure where
it's
you're going,
on a lead,
yeah.
If you're allowing your dog on a lead and a stretchy lead to go like that and it's going all the way down the hedge, you're never going to control it. And these dogs what do that generally don't come off the lead.
No, which is not fair, is it? No. It's not nice for anybody, and the dogs should never have to not come off the lead.
Some dogs will come off the lead and the owners can get them back, but most dogs won't, and the owners are in fear that they won't. So we have to start with heel. And in my world, heel means heel, and that's the dog there. I'm not bothered if it's a bit in front, I'm not bothered if it's a bit at the side, I'm not bothered if it's a bit behind to start with. This is a starting point. It's got to be focusing with me, so I like to walk up, turn quick, then turn into the dog, then turn away from the dog, turn into the dog. And I'm not a madman. I don't do that for 8 hours a day. I might look at it, but I'm not. But what I'm doing, I'll do a few minutes of that, and then I move on to another exercise.
Yes.
A few minutes, I can go back to heel, so I can get a lot out of the session. The session hasn't got to be 15 minutes. I use 15 minutes as a guideline.
Okay.
If it's a good session, it can be half an hour.
Yes.
If it's a bad session, it might be 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you've got to work it, but I think anyone with a Gundog breed should be able to. There's enough information out there from loads and loads of people to bring a dog to heel fairly quick. But we live in a fast life, as you know, and there's a school run to do, and there's the phone going, and there's the emails going, I've got to get to work, bloody dog, and this, that, and I'm fed up with the dog, and my wife's not going to take it. And it's the same old story all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't got the time to heal your dog, go to a trainer who can heal your
I
dog.
was just going to say, can you explain to people why you recommend Gundog trainers for Gundog breeds?
Well, you've answered the question. Gundog trainers train Gundogs. We don't train any other breed. We get phone calls all the time. I've got a Basset, I've got this, I've got that. The answer's no. We train Gundogs. I understand Gundogs, I work with Gundogs, and the principle is the same. So whatever you've got, a spaniel, a pointer,
and it
one
can
of the
be a
real
pet,
set
just
of breeds,
an obedient
it can
family
be a pet.
pet.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be working, does it?
No. These dogs have been bred for hundreds and hundreds of years. I know we're diluting it out now, and we're changing it, and we're crossing spaniels with Labradors and this with that, and it's all getting a little bit complicated, I suppose. But the concept is the same. They are Gundog breeds, and we understand Gundog breeds. You know, and that's it. But heal means heal. Start off on the Monday morning at the beginning of the week and say, right, this dog's going to heal by Friday, and it will heal by Friday if you put the time in and the effort in.
Okay.
And if you can't do it in that short space of time, contact someone who can. And when you're healing a dog, you can't fall out with it. You cannot be rough with it. You can't pull it about. You just got to take control and say, right, this is what we're doing. Now, we do this in and out, and we're professionals at doing this, so we know when to push the dog a bit more and when to back off the dog a bit more. But you can't keep ragging it on a lead and pulling it and falling out with it. It's just a no-go.
No.
You know, some people say put a harness on. I disagree with it. They're for pulling sledges. Put a halty on across its nose. I don't like to see it. Lift the lead up to its ears. A dog should walk on a slack lead. If the lead is tight, it is not healing. If the lead is slack, it is healing. And some dogs will walk perfect. Some dogs will be a bit in front, like I say, and they'll all be a little different.
So if somebody's got a dog, and we have them in all the time, that really is on a slip lead, but it's really pulling, constantly pulling, what do they do at that point? For you sort of saying from Monday to Friday you can get this dog to heal with the right patience and the right time. What can they do when they're really getting pulled?
What they need to do is go somewhere where it's fairly quiet.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a quiet spot, even if it's the corner of a park in London or wherever. You can find a quiet spot or go in your garden and you educate the dog. You basically, you sit there, you get the dog to look at you, you tap the lead and it looks at you. Then you give it the command, heel, and you walk off. And you might walk 10 yards to start with, you could walk 20. You turn around really quick and just give a little tap on the lead. None of this really pulling.
No, it's just a quick. You always say dog on a lead, we're off this way.
And you need the right lead. It's no good having a stretchy lead. It's no good having a lead what goes out or too long a lead. You want a lead round about a metre, what's perfect for the job. No stretching it. That's what we use.
And it's important to put the lead on the right way.
And it's important to put the lead on the right way. So when the lead is slack, when the lead is slack, the ring drops down. If it's the other way, it tightens up. Again, you can go and see this all over the place. I don't really want to reinvent the wheel.
No.
I'm a big believer heel start is heel, and we've never had a dog in what wouldn't heal for me.
No.
We've certainly give it back to the owners, or it's pushed you, it's pushed Carly. But it's just a case of saying, right, we're on a journey and
it does get better. It gets a lot
gets absolutely.
And suddenly it just clicks in.
So we go out with multiple dogs, you know, in the morning, and we go for a walk, and heel means heel. And if you've got one over there and one over there and one over there, the rest will go. So we bring them in, and the minute one messes around, so it's like the puppies, they're not puppies anymore, they're 11 months old. If Jack moves around in the morning, or Flo gets a bit excited, we have to put them on a lead. But we have other leads, we can join them. So we'll join them to James, or we'll join them to Edward or Cougar or Wolf, one of the more experienced.
So it's beneficial for people to have more than one dog.
Yeah, so they have a training collar on, and we can clip them to one of the other dogs, and then we carry on with our walk. And then we might only go 100 yards and we take them off that lead and we give them another chance. And all dogs have the days where they're just going to play you up. Believe me, every one of them, even the most experienced dogs.
They all have off days. They're not robots, are they?
But you know, we go on our walk every morning. We enjoy it, and that's what it means. And then it gives me time to think for the day. And then we're in the field, and the first dog I'll take out, my first job of the day will be heel. And it's heel, heel, heel. And we always have a laugh here, and we think, you know, if the powers what be was watching me, had a microchip in me, they'd think I'd gone absolutely crackers walking around the training.
He's walking up down
or I'm around the woods and I'm up there.
Or off in that field. You don't leave the area really.
No, I don't.
A couple of acres and that's it, isn't it?
What's he spinning round for? Again, he's spinning round.
He's doing in little figures of eight.
Figures of eight. He'll send me off to Broadmoor, you know, at some point. So
one of the biggest questions always asked is heel, and we've done lots of videos on heel. And there's lots of videos out there on heel. The way we do it, and it works for us every time, and a dog can pull like a steam train, it works. Some dogs pick it up easy, some dogs it takes a little longer. Now little Charlie here, his heel's really, really good. When he first came into us, it wasn't good. But all we'll say, he needs to understand the word to start with. So we're going to say heel, and we're going to walk on. Now I know he can heel because we'll put the time into him. We turn round. Now if he's not going to turn with us, we'd give him a gentle tug on that lead. Then we'll walk into him. So we're almost doing a figure of 8. We don't keep saying the word heel, 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 heel. We just say it once when we take off. We're going to sit him. And he's sat. And that is the perfect heel. This dog's only 10-month-old and he walks lovely to heel. Now, I would start that journey with any dog. I can get a dog in and we can give them a little nag on the lead and get them to heel fairly quick. But rather than trying to get them to heel 5 miles in one go, we bring the dogs out the kennels and they're out for 15 minutes several times a day, so we drill that into them. If we can't get a dog to walk to heel on a lead, we're never going to get the dog to heel off the lead.
So I hope you've enjoyed that. Watch the clips what come with it. Keep sending in your questions, your comments. We'll answer them wherever we can. We know there's 1 or 2 naughty dogs out there, but on the whole of it, they're all very good dogs out there. So enjoy your training, slow it down, and enjoy every moment with these little dogs of yours. Thanks for watching.